that's going to better not show up on YouTube. Yeah, I see those wheels turning. I know all about you, Jaguar. I'm the man.
We are back, Jiggy Jag TV. We are going to do a whole bunch of cool stuff tonight, and it's either going to be really good or it's going to be really bad. I am, of course, Jigman Freud, the master debater, the cunning linguist, the admiral of alliteration. And we have the fantastic blues artist with us today. Sir, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Kurt Allen. How y'all doing?
So, Kurt, you've won some awards, or you're up for some awards?
We're up for some awards.
Okay.
We've been nominated by the Independent Blues Awards for Best Blues Rock Band, Best Modern Roots CD, and Blues Rock Song of the Year for Graveyard Blues.
Wow. So, where were you when you got these nominations?
I just rolled out of bed about 2 weeks ago. Yeah, just rolled out of bed at home a couple weeks ago because, still with the pandemic, there's not a whole lot of touring going on.
Yeah.
So we're doing what we can to get by for the time being. I remember waking up on a Saturday morning. I'm stepping outside to have my morning smoke. I rub my eyes and I'm going, am I seeing this right? Wow, cool! So yeah, it was pretty cool. Very very cool to see that we've been nominated. So and was nominated with some really great other artists, Albert Castillo, Mike Zito, I think Anna Popovic is on there as well.
Wow.
So there's some huge names on there, so I'm extremely humbled just to be
Included in the list.
mentioned with them. Yeah,
That's right. So, how did you get started doing the blues thing?
my uncle got me playing when I was about 7 years old. I was probably 6-ish or so the first time I heard Heartbreaker by Led Zeppelin, and I was hooked. I was like, that's it. That's what I want to do. I want to play guitar somewhat like that. Or at least try to. So, over the years I practiced, picked things up, as I was introduced to other musicians as well. Alvin Lee, Rory Gallagher. We get into Free, Paul Kossoff, the Butterfield Blues Band, Mike Bloomfield. All those cats. I was always kind of gravitated toward the English blues rock guys.
Yeah.
And then, so that was my first love, was blues and blues rock, the British blues rock. And then I got into high school and no one played blues. They're like, you play what? No, man, we're playing Nirvana, Metallica, stuff like that. So I was playing the grunge and the hard rock and the heavy metal all through high school and the first couple years out, and it got to a point where I was like, man, I'm going back to what I love. I want to go back and play the blues and that gritty blues,
Yeah. That's awesome.
I try to make it awesome.
I try to make it
awesome. I commend the people that listen to us.
So tell me a little bit about your band.
We've been around for about 10 years now. I've had this band for 10 years. Before that, I was kind of just a side guy or lead guitar vocalist, some backing vocals here and there. Years ago, I got to the point where it's like, man, I'm tired of playing the same songs with every band that I play in. And somebody said, well, why don't you start your own band? I'm like, it was kind of one of those, well, I've never really seen myself as a band leader. And I just kind of got out and said, all right, well, I'm going to write some songs and see what happens. And went from there, and 10 years later, I haven't been booed off stage yet, so it must be going at least somewhat well.
That's awesome. So, are you like one of these guitar players that is obsessed with collecting gear? Do you have like 15 guitars and all these different things?
Oh yeah, I've got a ton of guitars. Mostly Gibsons. I'm a huge Gibson fan. Again, most of the guys that I grew up idolizing or really kind of influenced me, most of them played Gibsons. Alvin Lee, Page, Clapton in the early years, Butterfield, Kossoff, Peter Green, Gary Moore. They were all primarily Les Paul guys or Gibson guys. So most of my guitars are Gibsons. I've got a couple old Strats, just not my cup of tea. As far as gear outside of guitars and amps, I don't really have a lot. I'm pretty much a minimalist. I don't use a whole lot of stuff. I've got a small board up there. Most of the time I might have one pedal on. And the rest of it's just amp and fingers. So
that's awesome.
Thanks.
So you just, and that apparently has worked for you over the years.
Yeah. Simplicity, what's the KISS theory? Keep it simple, stupid.
Yes.
Stuff can. I've always thought things can get mucked up so easily if you put too much stuff in.
Yeah.
I'm not going to name any names, but I've heard many guitar players over the years, that they're playing one chord, but they're stacking a whole bunch of different pedals, a chorus, a delay, a flange, and it makes it sound really cool, but they're really not doing a whole lot. It's all effect driven, but to each their own.
That's awesome. So, you have chosen tonight to do basically a live CD here at the Red Shed.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about why you decided that.
It was a conversation with my management team about probably, I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago. We were talking about, he was like, you've got new material. I'm like, yeah. Was any of it recorded? No, not really. Because we've been a little over a year now without any kind of solid touring, and we just released an album during the pandemic.
Yeah.
So there's not really the financial means to go out and spend another big chunk of change on another album, or an actual studio album.
Yeah.
So he goes, well, what about this Red Shed show coming up? He goes, do you think you guys could record a live show? And I'm like, holy crap, that's a great idea. It's like, yeah, well, let me get a hold of Jeff and see if we can make that happen. Sure enough, shot Jeff an email. And
he's always down for anything.
He got back with me like, again, it was one of those things. I woke up the next morning, wow, Jeff's down for it. So, it came together in like 12 hours.
Wow.
From the conversation with my management team to getting a hold of Jeff, it came together in like 12 hours. And we're like, cool, I guess we're doing a live CD.
So, had you ever been here or seen any footage or anything that...
Yeah, we played here last year in May. Want to say it was May 8th last year. June. That's right. Today's May 8th.
You are fantastic.
Yeah, today's May 8th. We played here last June 6th. And it was a great place. I love the vibe of the place. Such a cool, little, personable space. It's just so awesome here, and the sound is incredible.
Oh, yeah.
So, again, when my manager brought up the idea of recording here, I'm like, you couldn't have picked a better place. Yeah, I love this place, and we were talking to Jeff a while ago. We're always going to come back here, no matter what. We're going to do everything we can.
So if you get to be,
if we're selling out Madison Square Garden, we're still going to come back here. There's no
awesome.
there's no reason, it might have to be, hey, you can advertise it like a day before.
You're not going to have any situation. Well, I'm not going to name any names, even though people that are watching this exactly know what the hell I'm going to say. But you're never going to get to the point where you're going to need a bigger venue. This is fine. You're not going to wait for the place to be sold out and then go, screw it.
No. Even when you get that big. I'm
not saying that they got that big. I'm just saying.
Even when certain acts get to that level.
Okay, there you go.
Some of the cats that I've watched over the years and again studied, that Alvin Lee, Rory Gallagher, those cats, they were playing Woodstock, and then 2 nights later they'd be playing the Old Grey Whistle.
That's right.
It had 300 people in it. So why discount? Why discount one place over the other? It's still exposure. You still get to play.
That too.
You're putting music out to people that want to hear your music. So
that's awesome.
Why deprive them?
So when you play around the Kansas City area, who do you and where do you like to go, and as far as performances
Recently,
or performing with? Or?
Well, we haven't really performed with anybody recently.
Yeah.
The last couple shows in the Kansas City area we've done were at Knuckleheads.
Oh yeah.
Before that, we did some, pre-pandemic, we did some BB's dates. Little place called the Little Barbecue Joint, or I'm sorry, a Little Barbecue Joint. That's actually the name.
That's awesome.
Little Barbecue Joint. Check it out. Amazing barbecue. Little plug for a Little Barbecue Joint.
That's awesome.
Incredible. The first time I had their brisket, I almost passed out because it was so good I forgot to breathe.
That's awesome.
But we played there a good number of times. Other than that, for the last 3 or 4 years, we haven't done a whole lot of Kansas City dates. We're trying to kind of branch out so we don't oversaturate one market.
That's awesome.
We don't want to, oh yeah, we've already seen them 3 times this month.
That's awesome. So I guess before we let you go, how do we get a hold of you on social media, websites, buy your music?
We are on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I think we're even on LinkedIn. I believe.
Okay. I was waiting for you to say TikTok, and I was like, what the hell are you doing on TikTok?
You know what? I opened a TikTok just because somebody advised me to, and I'm going, man, this stuff has passed me. I'm going, yeah.
I need to get Bob Hunter on TikTok. I think he'd be the biggest thing ever.
We've also got our own website. The website is kurtallenmusic.com. It's KURTALLEN music.com. On Instagram and Facebook, it's all Kurt Allen Music as well. Those will get you up. And Twitter, I don't remember. It's been a while since I've used it. I've got the account, but it sits dormant.
It just sits dormant.
Yeah.
Well, so after you do this live CD tonight, when would that be potentially released?
We're aiming for sometime later this summer.
That's awesome.
I'm not going to make any promises because it's got to be edited and and mixed at least a little bit. And then when that's done, we want to give it a little bit of promotion time as well. We don't want, hey, it's done, it's out, there you go, with no push behind it.
That's right.
We want to get a little.
Everybody's got to get the push.
Yeah. And from behind.
That's awesome.
We want to give it. We want to make sure it gets some promotion, some pumping.
Yeah.
Mind in the gutter.
Hey, that's fun. That's fun. It's if you've ever seen this show, and we haven't even touched the surface yet as far as the gutter goes. But
scratching the surface. We'll be here all night.
I think you just touched it.
Yeah.
You didn't scratch it.
Well,
I scratch and touch.
Well, I appreciate you doing this, brother.
Thank you very much.
Good
man.
time, and thanks for watching Jiggy Jag TV.